Mm-hmm. Right. So I want to get into a little bit of the meat and potatoes of why we're here today. We are here today in celebration of breast cancer awareness, and we do have Survivor Speaks with us here today to share her story. So, this part of the interview is the last 5 questions, and we do want to take our time to get to know her story, get to know her journey, and also see if we can provide some tools, tips, and understanding along the way to make sure that you guys are taking your next best steps forward. So, you ready to get into the thing of the thing,
Let's
ma'am?
do it, Sneaky. Let's do it.
Okay, my love. Can you tell me about your diagnosis and how you found out about it?
So, I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. My daughter was 5 months old. So, at the time, um, you know how, well, I don't even know if you have kids, Sneaky, but some people in the audience, when you have, after you have a child, the milk forms and everything, and it's a whole big situation. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, could it be? So I wasn't breastfeeding. So, but I actually was doing a self breast examination and felt the lump myself. So I made a appointment
Mm-hmm.
um, to have it looked into. Um, and so then from there, basically, like they told me, like you have to see a cancer specialist just to make sure it's not anything. So actually, they sent me to an imaging. Um, my GYN sent me to an imaging place to get like the mammogram done, and so they can't tell you at the imaging place. Like they can tell you what they think and then what their recommendation is that you go see a, a breast surgeon because um, something is just not looking right on the test that you know, that just you know, came back. So it was actually like the doctor that was there. He didn't even really want to say nothing because they have a doctor that look over the film as well. Yeah, but what he did was he called the breast surgeon and just was like, "Yeah, can you get her in and see her?" Like it's not. So from then I knew it was something serious because doctors don't do doctor to doctor unless it's something. So it's something that they saw and they were familiar because they've been doing it for so long, but they wouldn't tell me that. So basically, um, yeah, I went to the breast surgeon. She did a biopsy, and yeah, and it was like the next day after that they told me, yeah.
Wow. When I was 22 years old, I
Hmm.
had the same experience. My results were a bit different, but I had the same experience. I went into the doctor because I was doing the same thing, self examination. And please make sure you guys are doing that daily. If not, 2, 3 times a week, make sure you're getting it in there. They have shower inserts where you can hang it in your shower and it'll give you the step by step to while you're
Hmm.
in the shower. You can do it. That's where I do mines. Um, so please make sure you're doing that. But same thing, doing a self check, felt a lump, went to the doctor, and I went to the doctor and was like, "How do I cut my boobs off?" And she's like, "Excuse me," and I'm like, "Yeah, because I think that this is what's going on." She's like, "That's not how this works." And I'm like,
Hmm.
because I could just get a tattoo and be done with it. Like, I just want to live. Like, I just want to make sure that I have some life extended here. So, what is it that I need to do? So she says, no, we're going to schedule you for a mammogram and then we'll take it from there. So I went, I got the mammogram done. And again, the same thing. They found some density in there, but they had me do another type of testing.
Hmm.
I went in for the next testing, and the same thing. it wasn't showing anything in there, but I was having all discomfort and pain, and I'm small, very small,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
you kind of could feel the density, you know what I mean? So I was
Mhm.
having pain because of it. I didn't want to sleep on my stomach, and I was laying on my arms and things like that. So it was making other parts of my body uncomfortable just because I didn't want to touch them at all. Like, just leave them alone. Let's act like they're not there. They're saying everything's okay. Let's just not ever touch them again, and let's just do that. And what they end up doing was telling me that I had to do like some kind of pain management or something like that. And they took a
Mhm.
needle and they stuck it from in my underarm to the center of my breast and released the medication to reduce the pain. After like two times of doing that, I'm like, okay, if you guys are saying nothing is wrong, I don't want to go through this painful process to get to no pain. And then
Right.
they gave me a different type of diet and things to eat. So at that point, I stopped drinking any caffeine, not allowed to have any caffeine, no citric acid, anything like that. So, which reduces any kind of, swelling or anything that could occur in that area. So I did have that issue as well, which is pretty scary. And when you having those things going on, is just nothing you can say or do in the time to get to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So my question would be to you is, where did you draw your strength from to overcome your diagnosis and move forward to begin your recovery and healing journey?
Um. So, like I said, my daughter was 5 months old. My son was 13 at the time. Um. And so that was the first place that I kind of like drew my strength from. Because I'm a mother and I have to take care of my children. My daughter's 5 months old, like so that's the only thing. So you have to shift um, your mindset. So that's you know I have a book out. I just released. I just and so that's part of the title. Um, you have to
Mel, do
kind of
you
shift.
have Survivor link, book link? If Mel, if you have that link, can you please put it in the chat? If you
So,
guys please go ahead and support Survivor Speaks and click on the link, check out her book, grab it, give it a read, let us know what you think about it. Go ahead, I'm
so
sorry.
no, you're fine. I had to. It's like I've always been a believer. You know, even I wasn't growing up. My mother never forced me to go to church or she would say like stuff about God or whatever. But she wasn't the type of mother that forced me. But I loved going to church on my own. So it was something that was always within me. So with that mind shift, like, so my thing was, all right, I'm already healed. I just need to go through the motions to get to the healing. That
Mm-hmm.
was and I did that from the time I was driving home from because I was at work when she called, and
Wow.
my supervisor at the time went to my first appointment with me because she was an RN and also a breast cancer survivor, and so she
Mm.
just went. And so I introduced them. She didn't say too much to her. She just was sitting there with her arms folded in the room. I said, "You can say anything or do anything you want," and in front of her, she's who she is. So when they called me at work and she told me, I said, I'm going to get a phone to Vanessa. She knew who Vanessa was already, and I had walked off the floor. And so my whole thing was like, how am I going to tell my mother this?
Mm.
So Vanessa called my mother for me. So she was like,
Wow.
give me the phone, put your dial your mother number and go on ahead and go on home. So being that that was on my way home, like I just had a whole shift in my mindset. Like, all right, she's taking care of that. At least when I get home, my mother was at my house, and it was just like she already knows. My sister was calling me crying. You're gonna have to go to the Cancer Centers of America. And I'm like, when you get it together, call me back. I got something to do. Click. And she's like,
Right. Yeah.
call me
Hmm.
back. Like, what? You hung up on me. Yeah, I'm not doing all that crying and stuff right now. Like, no, it's not. I'm
You
not
were
going to
already in battle mode.
America. Yeah, like I'm not. Yeah, I was already. Then I had this girl from my job, she called me screaming and hollering, "Girl, what is you screaming and hollering for? We ain't even that cool. And why is you on? You gonna have to
Hmm.
call me back when you finish with." And that was just always um what it was. It was just something from from the first time that I learned. Just like I said, Vanessa took care of telling my mother this, and it's just like a shift in my mind. I shifted my mind, like, you know what, I'm already healed, and by his stripes I'm healed. That's what he said, right? And so
Blood of Jesus.
yes, and I'm gonna I just need to do everything that I need to be doing to get to my healing. But I always claimed it, like from day one. uh, I drew strength, right? Yeah, and I just want to, like, say this to people in the chat too, if you're listening. If you um God dog, I got my chemo brain just kicked in. I was getting ready to say something else, but I forgot what I was gonna say. So go on here. So yeah,
Okay.
that's
Well,
what I do. My
if it comes back to you, if it comes
it'll
back
come
to
back
you,
to
spit
me.
it
Yeah, yeah.
out.
This a
Stop
part.
me and get
This is a
it
part
out.
of this is a part of having chemotherapy and stuff. Like, you just, we call it chemo fog. So it's like something that I'll have for the rest of my life. Sometimes y'all hear me talking, and I might stutter a little bit, or I might say stuff backwards. It all has to do with um, you know breast cancer and chemo and stuff like that. So
Mm.
I
Okay, so you kind of wrapped a few of the questions up in one. So I want to just separate them out just a little bit.
hmm
So, just for the viewers and somebody who would be in the beginning stages of this journey, after you're diagnosed, what were some of the immediate steps you had to take after being diagnosed? So, I know that you had someone with you, grateful to that. You need to make sure that you have someone with you. What were some of the immediate things that you needed to do, to get you to a place where you could get help?
so the most important thing that you can do is listen to the professionals. I always tell, oh, and this is probably what it was too. I always tell, people, if this is something that you're going through and you're diagnosed with this, do not consume yourself on the internet with every little detail, because that will drive you crazy. Because any type of chemotherapy that you take, you're going to have some type of side effect. And
Mm-hmm.
the pharmaceutical companies, they have to list all the side effects that you could experience. But
Mm-hmm.
some people go to the computer, and when you go to different sites, it says different things. They take all of that stuff and put it in their mind, and sometimes I think it's just a mental thing, and so you really can't consume, like, the first thing I would say is to make sure that you are you are doing what you have to do, going to the doctor, and you don't have time to think about. You do not have time to think about. I'm going to say this again. You do not have months and months and months to think about what steps that you're going to take
Mm-hmm.
to becoming a survivor. Like, you have to do what it is you have to do. Nobody's saying that you have to make a decision to cut your breast off. Nobody's saying that, but at least take some of the advice that they have. So um when you
At
told your story.
22 years old and the exaggerative person that I am, that was just my immediate thought.
No,
Okay,
no,
let's just get rid of the
I'm about to speak.
mess.
No, 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 I'm about to speak to that. I'm about to speak to that. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I was about to say something, but it's not negative.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's not negative at all. So
Let it be the truth, negative or positive. Let it be
it
the
is
truth.
no, it is what it is because that is a thing. So this I had a lump in my left breast, but it was in another area in my left breast as well. And so they had to remove it. It was no talks about like nothing that they can do for that one. But then I did research and I told her to remove both of them. And it's called preventative care. You have some people that never had cancer, but they have a test called BRCA1 and BRCA2.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gene test that somebody in your family can take. So I took it.
Mm-hmm.
It came back negative.
Mm-hmm.
So, so okay, so that's great. But if it would have came back positive at the age that I had breast cancer, my daughter would be able to get mammograms at half the age I was. So say like if I'm gonna just say 30, at 15, she would be able to get mammograms because insurances, a lot of insurances don't cover
Yeah.
mammograms until you like what 35, 40.
Yeah. As they say,
So
the earliest I was able to get one was at 22, and it was because
of the
I went
density.
like with the problem. Like I had to
Mhm.
tell them like no. And then that was the thing too. I sat in every hospital in New York City
Oh
for
wow.
hours.
Well, my cousin, while I was going through treatment, had the same issue that you had, and
Mhm.
hers wasn't cancer either. She has like they call it dense breast,
Mhm.
what she has, and so yeah, the same things. She started cutting out a lot of different things because like it really really scared her, but
Yeah.
I do believe in preventative care, and it's not far fetched that you felt how you was feeling, but it just it depends on who you are as the person, how strong you are. So like I told him, take both of them off. So my
Mhm.
surgeon's like, we don't have to. Like it's nothing going on in the right one. No, take them both off. You said I get new ones,
Mhm.
didn't you say I get new ones? Okay,
Mhm.
I want them to match. And so
Right. Give me two new ones. I'm fine.
I was just crazy during my my journey. Like the doctors used to be like, "Oh my gosh, did she just say that?" But yeah, you have to like find. I try to find a joy in the laughing, and everything. And it's myself that I'm laughing at. So I'm not laughing at anybody else. Was joking and laughing about myself. So
I did want
I
to
don't.
put that into the song as well, and that was kind of like the whole thing. Like you are beautiful as you are is just a scar, and we need to make sure that when you see that scar, you understand that you're looking at a warrior. You are looking at somebody who has battled through the battle. That you're not gonna just beat down. Respect the scar. Respect it.
It's I said this on my um I did a live and I said this: you never judge a book by its cover. Um, I'm going through. I want to say I was on about my sixth round of chemo, and so I had a handicap parking sticker at the time. Yes, I did. Um, because I needed it, and so I went. I was like,
I
okay,
want one.
I don't have it anymore. They didn't. The doctors, you gotta get. So I went to the supermarket.
I
Yeah,
need
we
one.
can. Oh yeah, I need mine again, but I don't have it. So I went to the supermarket, and it was like in between. It was like I had chemo already, so I'm I'm able to um you know go in the store. I'm not like because like for like 3 days after you get chemo, in my experience, yeah, it was just a lot, and so I used to take this shot, and it makes your bones hurt because it speeds up
Mm,
your white blood cells so that you can get
mm.
chemo treatment. And I get out the car, and so this man said, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself. There's nothing wrong with you, and you're parking in a handicap spot. Whose parking whose handicap placard do you have?"
Mm.
And all this other stuff. And
Ignorance.
and it just is ignorant. as he wanted to be. And so my thing to him was at the time. No, it had to be before that because I stopped wearing a wig probably like maybe around 4. So maybe it was between 3 and 4 because I had on a wig this day and I smashed it off and I said, "You should watch who you talking to." So I don't have any eyebrows because like everything is gone. So I don't have
Mm,
any hair. That's what chemotherapy is designed to kill all the cells in your body. Your hair is a cell.
mm-hmm.
Um, uh, Everything in your body, your skin is all made up of cells. So everything that had like it kills everything. And so I snatched my wig off. I was like, you should mind I told him, you should mind your damn business. I'm lucky to
Mm-hmm.
be walking in here. You don't know what I have. That's my
Right.
placard. Why you mind your business? So now people outside the store start going off on him. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you saying something to her? Like, what is your problem? And so now he's the victim. Oh no, I was just saying, no, you should have mind your business. That's what you
Right.
did. And we wouldn't be here today. These people wouldn't be able to, be ready to jump all over you. People don't play about people that have like a cancer or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Protected.
So yeah, they don't. Yeah, and it was just like none of your business. So mind your manners. Just always
Mm-hmm.
mind your business. What is it, Ken?
In the words of Cat Williams, was it Cat Williams? No, it was Kevin Hart. Mind your goddamn
Mind.
motherfucking business, bitch. Mind your
Yeah, that's
business, people.
that's
Worry about
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Worry
Like what?
about you.
Yeah, like what? Like what? I'm supposed to be in a wheelchair or something, rolling around? Like I'm trying to understand. You don't know what's wrong with people. Just mind your business. Don't judge
Right.
a book by your cover. It's covered. Like, why is it bothering you that I'm parking here? Nobody else wants to park here, and even if they did, I'm not moving.
Right.
I'm a part of
When
the
you're really
disability. Look, I was like, I'm a part of the Disabilities Act, sir. Mind your damn business.
oh. So I know that that had to be like a tough situation. We can sometimes when we go through hard things, you got to laugh about them later just to keep from crying about it. So
Yeah.
that had to be hard. But what would you say was like your toughest battle during your journey? Like, what's the hardest thing you felt you had to go through to get better?
Um. So there's a second part, right, to the breast cancer thing. I had triple negative breast cancer, and like the tumor was growing so aggressively, like so they had to um, they treated it aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I wanted to say it was just like uh, the hardest times for me. Um, it wasn't even like for battling the breast cancer because I already had came to grips with the diagnosis, and people probably gonna be like what is she saying that, like, so I'm a what you call a introverted extrovert. um and if I think you have a question, I'll explain it then, that part of it then, but I really like being by myself. And so like I would have like if my family members came from out of town, they would come to see, check on me to see how I was feeling. And I always just felt like a pink elephant in the room. Like they would be talking, my mind would be somewhere else. I wouldn't even hear anything that they were saying. Um, I didn't like being around people at the time. I think that was harder for me than, going through the fight. I know a lot of people like, she got cancer. Like, is cancer really that serious? No, it's a big thing, but it's just that
Kind of
was
like
a
an
big thing.
unconscious trance
Yeah, it's just that, yeah, especially,
stuck in your mind.
uh, yeah. So especially like when people used to like, because people will come over and they don't mean any harm by it. Like, so, say your family members, they want to see you. They don't mean any harm by it, especially they're from out of town and they come and they just come over. It may be, it's probably like 90% of the time, I didn't want any company. And so it just was like,
Hmm.
yeah, like they don't, they quite don't understand what it is that I'm going through. So uh, that's just what I felt. I felt like, and like nobody understood like what I was going through at the time. Like I'm just saying, people that came by my house, to see how I was doing, and it's just that I just felt like a big old pink elephant in a room. Like I had nothing in common with nobody. It didn't make a difference whether my mother was there. I think my grandmother came up one time, and with her sister came over, and it was just like I'm sitting there like, all right, y'all seen me, I'm alive, I'm still fighting and battling. In my mind, I was like, I wish I would go home, like, cause I mean,
Right.
I don't know, it's weird, but that's what I felt. That's how I felt. That was harder for me.
You can't control your emotions in moments. What you get in a moment is what you get in a moment, and you can't hold
Yeah,
yourself accountable for that either.
yeah,
So how you got me 5 moments ago is how you got me 5 moments ago, and how you get me in this next 5 minutes is what you're going to get from me in the next 5 minutes. You got to take me as I come in each moment. So
yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about your status today? This is a final question. Final question in the section. So, can you tell us a little bit about your status today and some of the steps you take daily to be healthy?
So today I am a 17 plus year breast cancer survivor. Uh, I had one additional scare after this, but it was something
Congratulations.
called fat necrosis. And it's non-cancerous. So um, I've had other scares since then, and then there's a lot of other things that like just come along with it, but I've never had issues with breast
Is that
cancer.
kind of like a lipoma?
Is it kind of like a what?
I'm sorry, I just lipoma, like you said. I'm sorry, what
Oh,
did you describe it as?
it's called fat necrosis. She didn't say that it was
So
like
is
I
that
know what you're
something
talking
like a
about,
lipoma?
lipoma. It probably looks
Yeah.
like that. My mother had that lipoma, so like it looks like it may be a lump or something,
Hmm.
but it's it's fat necrosis. That's what they call it. Um,
It's just fat cells, a gathering of fat cells.
I want to say, yeah, I want to say like because of everything from like all of the chemo treatment and then the surgeries to have like I had a double my mastectomy, so that means that I had both of my uh breast removed um and with a lymph
Mm.
node dissection because like the cancer had spread to my lymph nodes in my under my left arm, and so your lymph nodes
Got it.
normally catch um, and like if you have like an infection or a cold or something, your lymph nodes might swell up, letting you know something
Hmm.
is going on in your body. But your lymph nodes don't, they can't detect cancer cells though. It's really crazy. They, it,
Right.
it's like cancer is what I call is an intruder. That's what I call it. It's just like I'm here and you're gonna have to deal
Silent
with
one.
it. Yeah. So,
Hmm.
um,
But it's silent. You got to speak to it. It doesn't speak to you until you speak to it. So
yeah,
it's kind of like, you know what I mean? I'm not sure if I phrased that right, but
no,
it's
I
kind of like
think
you
you
got to find it and then it finds you, kind of a thing, Not it finds you and then you're like, oh, this thing has me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like your body, you find it and
right.
then
You
it
find
becomes a thing.
right, and some people find it too late, and so I suffer from something called and I always tell people this survivor's remorse. And don't ask me why. It's just something that I
Mhm.
feel. I've lost some people that were pretty close to me to breast cancer, and it's just like every year I celebrate it different. Um, Last year and the year before that, like I didn't do anything online. I shut down online. Like I was, you probably, um, It wasn't. We in 2024, right? So it was. No, it was 22, maybe the year before that. But I really didn't do anything 2023. Oh yeah, I did my personal breast cancer campaign in 2023, which is one of the pictures that Sneaky has on the stage. Um, but the years before that, I shut down. I didn't want to do anything like because I feel like sometime in my mind like all of these people die from breast cancer, and then when you lose like two of the biggest inspirations to you to breast cancer, it hits in a whole different light. So I lost the supervisor that went with me to the first visit. She got cancer
Wow.
again while I was going through cancer, and I couldn't find her. She wouldn't answer the phone, and I'm calling her, like, what's going on? So I called her one day, and you could just hear like the cars speeding by her, and I'm like, "Where are you?" She's like, "I'm in New York." And you in New York where? I knew she worked in the city, but you in New York where? I'm on my way to a chemo treatment and I'm vomiting. And I'm like, and what is all the noise? So she's like, actually, I'm in a cab and I got my head out. She had her head like thrown up as she, vomiting as she's going. And I'm like, did you tell your husband? She's like, no. And I told her, I said, you have one day to tell your husband about this, because like I knew her husband personally too. And like he don't care about none of that stuff you
Yeah.
got going on your breast. He don't care about none of that. But it's definitely something to know. And if I tell y'all that man never remarried after she passed away, he never
Mm-hmm.
remarried. But I
Wow.
lost her, and then I lost somebody else very very close to me. And so I really really you guys can pull up her album too on YouTube Music. Uh, just put Kelly Downing um, in a search bar, and you'll see her come up. The name of her album is
Mel, if you
called
could
Great.
find it, drop it in the chat. If not, I will definitely add it to the description box so that you guys are able to find it. All of the information, everything that's going on in this interview right now is in the description box. So you guys take a look below, and we'll make sure that you guys can get to that channel as well.
Yeah. So she has, it's called Greater Faith in You. It's a gospel album, but when I tell you she has something on there everybody could listen to. She got a club on there, like a little West, like Kelly was a singer, and I was on that project with her. Like I was a part of her team. Um, and so it was just so hard for me when she passed away, because everybody has their own story and everybody is different. And so when I went to see her, she just kept telling me, I'm glad you're here because you understand. You understand. And in my
Mm,
mind, I'm just like, holding back the tears, like, yeah, this is not about me. This is about you. I'm here for you. I said, please stop trying to talk, because, she was having a hard time talking. And so she just kept saying, you understand, you understand. And she took and yanked her gown down. I'll never be able to unsee what I saw. And in my mind, I'm just saying, like, dang, like,
wow.
I can't, I don't, and everybody think like if you got cancer, everybody can relate. Sneaky, I couldn't relate. But when I tell you I can never get the picture out of my mind ever, um, that was like something like that really, really just, took me to another level with it. And I just was like, breast cancer awareness month came out, and I'm like, who am I? We just lost Kelly. I'm just
Mm,
not. And people would be looking like, where is she? Because uh, I did some modeling. People would be like, I had like a following like on Facebook, and it was Instagram at the time. So I wasn't on YouTube like that, but Facebook and Instagram, and my Instagram account got hacked, but I think it was a blessing. So I have a private Instagram, and then my Instagram, the public one, but the private one is like really not too many people on there, just family. But the Instagram that I had before that they hacked was my Instagram when I was modeling. So it was so many different people on that page. So I was like, you know what, God, I see the blessing in a hack. So I'm not tripping.
Right.
So yeah, that's
We're
how
gonna
it's
make
at.
sure we put that link in the chat as well. I'm not sure, Mel, if you can.
Oh,
Just we'll
Deidre.
get both of those into the chat, and if we can't get them into the chat, don't worry, guys. I'm gonna make sure that I put all of the links inside of the description
Sneaky, you
box.
got some people over here. Mr. Don GQ, I was never here. Yeah. Uh,
I see that. I'm about to go into the chat and say hi to people right now. So, hold on a second. Hold on.
Mr. Don GQ.
So Don GQ was I was never here. I didn't see you. I didn't see you at all. I promise. I did not see you. But I see you, boo. I see you. Come back and keep seeing me. I like that. Denitra Spider Speaks. I didn't tell my husband either. He left before I beat it. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But I'm
Mm,
also grateful to hear that you did beat it and you're here to
exactly.
tell your story as well.
Mm-hmm.
I I'm grateful that you are still here.
Yep.
Let's see who else we got down here.
DJ
Hey Genesis, how you doing?
Genesis.
Much love, Spider Speaks and Sneaky Link. Much love to you too. Much love to you too. Let's
Jelly
see.
Jelly.
Jella. I'm so sorry that Nightbot is being rude. I promise. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna pow his hands. Soon as I get off this live, whoever Nightbot screwed with tonight. I'm gonna screw with Nightbot. I promise you guys, I'm gonna get it all fixed. But we need to make sure that some other things are working in the background too, just in case. You never know. So we got to make sure Nightbot is working. I'm sorry that it took it out on you guys tonight in testing it out, but I will make sure that for the future that it's all good to go. All good to go. And yes, hey. Now I'm looking at the face that's being served on this screen. The face. Oh my. I love this picture. The cheekbones, the chin, the jawline, the forehead, ugh, the eyes, the head, the ears, the flowers. I am in awe of this picture. Tell me about it. What was going on? Tell me about it.
So in this picture, um, so actually the picture was taken. I was featured on this digital. Um, this is a digital magazine called Venus Diva. Um, but the picture was taken before that. So this photographer had bought a new camera, um, and he did a him and some other people, like it was a bunch of people that got together and did a shoot at FIT in New York. Um, and his camera at the time cost $16,000. So he actually wanted to test the camera out to see like what it would do. Um, so these pictures are actually right off the camera. They're not retouched or anything. Like this is how the picture came off the camera. So um, when she reached out to me, she wanted me to be on her beauty cover. Um, I told her, I just did a shoot and the photographer just got the pictures back to me. I think that it would be, pretty dope or whatever. And I sent them to her. And so she used it for the cover of this magazine. I can't even remember what year that was. I can't see it on the thing, but yeah, that's where this comes from. Uh, so yeah, the picture's right off the camera. It's just like they didn't even retouch it. He got this camera that was just crazy, and so yeah, it was like a bunch of people standing around. It was a bunch of people there. That's something that I got used to. I wasn't always that way, but yeah, I got used to it. So that's what this is. It was a shoot, and then she used it as a cover. It's one of my favorite pictures too. My daughter likes this one too.
I love it. It is giving thanks for the
Thank you.
gods. I love this picture, the lip
Thank you.
line, the nose,
Thank you.
hold
Uh,
on.
Let me see. Dag, my makeup artist. She's from New York too. Like I kind of, I want to say it wasn't even a joint venture between her and like there was a female photographer that was there too. Um, and I want to say like it was just so crazy that they called me, they booked me for this, and when I got there, she was already there, and I can't even remember her name right now, but I'm so upset about that because I love I worked with her for, a couple different times. So I did a lot. What is that up there, Sneaky? What you got up there?
Okay. So
That is not
you
me.
have divulged all of your secrets to me. I
No,
made you spill your guts. I made you give it all to me. I felt I needed to give you a little bit back. I felt like I just had to. So I wanted to be a model.
you
I
did.
wanted to be a model, right? I did. I wanted to so bad. Ah, I wanted to so bad. So the picture that you see here is me walking runway. That
Ooh.
is me in both pictures. I chose pictures that show the back of me because I didn't want to put all the people in my business. But that is me walking runway, and I that is at a show. So I wanted to be a model really badly, and I have a huge shortcoming.
Hmm.
I'm 5'1".
You find what?
I'm 5'1.5". So I can't model anything. Do you see how itty bitty I am in that picture?
Well, they want so like somebody that's 5'1", they'll use you like more for
It would have to be catalog. They already
a
told me.
catalog, like
Listen,
yeah, commercial,
yeah,
yeah.
I tried. Let me tell you my story time, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. So my story time for modeling is right. Everybody knows America's Next Top Model.
Oh.
Every season they have the beginning of the year season. They're picking the girls. They tell you what cities they're going to be going in to pick up the girls and da, da, da. So I talk junk for 8 years straight. From the time that show aired until the time where my time came. They said because you had to be at least 5'9" and above in order to go on America's Next Top Model. So I never could even try out. It was never a thing for me. But in 2009, they had a 5'7" and under lineup. And do you know that I chickened out? Didn't even
Ooh.
try. It was in New York City. I was in New York City and I didn't even try. I chickened out. Could you believe I chickened out?
Let me tell you something,
I
Sneaky.
was chicken.
Let me tell you something. There's a plus model. Her name is Jeannie. I love her to death. She's from the city. She lives in the city. She's 5'1", and she has two or three things against her. She's short. She's a plus size model. But let me tell you something. She would get on that runway and tear that runway up. Like she's still working right now in the industry. And like she's like
Mhm.
made a whole, thing out of it. Like, I was watching
Wow.
TV, like she got her and her sister on a commercial. I just saw her like the other day. And so I'm just like, just sharing that as encouragement because they try to tell they'll even try to tell you 5'7" is too short. They wanted you to be tall, like and through the roof and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But you can't.
Yep.
I didn't want to model. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. So it was just that,
I
yeah.
did. I wanted to so bad. I wanted
You
I
could have went
said,
for
"Why couldn't God just give me 8 more inches? Just Let me be the 5'9". And then all of my friends were really, really tall and they all complained about it. I'm just like, first of all, I'm right here by your belly button. Secondly, stop complaining. You got the best legs ever. Like, are you kidding me? That's amazing. So yeah, that was my guilty pleasure. And since you told me all your business, I felt like I should share with you as well. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. I didn't tell you all
that
of it.
is a little.
I didn't tell you all of it.
That,
Like,
I'm glad you didn't tell me all of it because the month is long. There's so much going on. I know that you have other interviews as well, so I didn't want to take all the juice away from you. But you're gonna come back, and we're
oh
gonna
yeah,
have a panel. Let me do a little bit of shameless before we get out of
plug it.
here, because I am going to do a panel for domestic violence awareness. There's also that coming up this month. There's a lot of different things that's coming up. So I want you guys to make sure that you stay tuned and all of that good stuff here. Let's see what's happening on my screen so I can get something. What's happening? Is it going to play? Is it going to play?
Yeah, somebody was trying to take
Is
your
it going to
spot. That's
play?
why I was
I
reaching
don't
out to you yesterday, Sneaky. Somebody was like, wait a minute, are you available tomorrow to do? And I'm like, oh no, I gotta.
know. My spot is.
She was really like, it was
My
her.
spot is.
She had her assistant like reaching out, like, hey, did she reach you? Did she come back yet? Yeah, I'm like, no, she didn't. I'm about to go to bed. So I went to bed and I left the last message. So,
I'm sorry.
well,
I
well,
sent it everything last night, so I am so sorry about that. But
no, no,
I
it's
didn't
all
want to
right.
give you. I wanted to, yeah, I wanted to make sure you had some stuff in advance, and I also wanted to make sure that you were able to just like just come in and just give us you. So I wanted to make sure that you guys know that we are having the open panel for domestic violence from the streets to the sheets. We talking about it all: domestic violence between your partner, your friends, all of these different things, how you protecting yourself, how you setting your boundaries and getting yourselves out of these situations, how we not going to be a hashtag Cassie, all of those things. No Diddy. We're going to make sure that we talk about that. And we're also going to be doing some celebrating this month, guys. We're going to be doing some celebrating. I'm supposed to be celebrating my 1K, but I don't know what's happening and what's going on. But I'm posting a lot of shorts, making a lot of regular posts, doing some short videos, not only when I come here to you guys. So I hope you guys are checking out my other stuff as well when I do post shorts and things like that. So between that, I've just been getting a lot of subscribers. I don't even know where they're coming from, left and right. I think that we're going to be celebrating 2K by the time I get a chance to celebrate my 1K. So Halloween is going down, big open panel. May the best mask to hit the screen win. We're going to do a giveaway. So come with your mask. It could be scary, it could be funny, whatever you want. Just make sure that you come with something. I'm gonna make sure I come in mask as well. We're gonna go live. I probably pick a really fun location here in Las Vegas, and we just have a real party of it. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that as well. Um, is there anything else coming up? Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else?